All right, the radical equations are radical expressions that include an equal sign. An equation is a radical expression that includes an equal sign. Radical equation is an expression that includes an equal sign. With absolute values, there were times when our equations had what we call extraneous solutions. Those are solutions that you get when you solve a problem, and when you solve it, you think it's a solution, but when you go back and check it, it actually does not work. Even-powered problems are problems that we have to be cautious of. Even-powered problems are problems we have to be cautious of.
It's not, because you won't stop talking. Yeah, so you don't have to expect that. It's also flat. No, that's a big. No, pictures. Oh, that's just a whole theory. Did you see that fish I got last night? Yeah. Did you see that? It was so big. What'd you say? Right, if you said something tomorrow, you just like yell at them. It's so true. What can you talk about? It's on there. I don't care.
What we're going to do is isolate the radical on one side of the equation. Then, how do you get rid of something that is square rooted? We're going to square both sides and then check our answer. What do you know about anything you plug into a square root? It will always come out
Perfect square.
Yeah. Positive.
I was just about to say that.
So that is where the extraneous solution comes from. Just like an absolute value is always positive, if a square root equals a negative number, can you ever plug something in and a square root come out negative? Therefore, it does not work. So it says solve the equation. Square root x plus 2 plus 4 equals 7. So what we're going to do is isolate the square root of x plus 2 by subtracting 4 from both sides. Then you're going to square both sides. So you get x plus 2 equals 9, so that the square and the square root cancel each other. Subtract that. Subtract 2 from 9. And you get
X equals 7.
You can check by just taking that 7, quickly plugging it back in, and going, okay, 7 plus 2, 9, square root 9, 3, 3 plus 4 is in fact 7. And you're happy, you move on. And you're like, hey, this is easy.
Then you get the x problem. I do like this.
Square root of x minus 12 equals 2 minus the square root of x. Is it possible to isolate the radical in this case?
It sure is.
Not. So what you have to do is isolate one radical first, which is already happening. You're going to square both sides.
I did not do that right now.
So this side cancels your radical. What do you have to do if you have a binomial squared? Foil. So that's technically like 2 minus root x times 2 minus root x. 2 times 2 is?
4.
2 times negative square root x?
Minus 2 square roots of x.
Yep, and then that's going to happen.
So it'd be minus 4 square roots of x.
Yep.
And then
because a negative times a negative is a positive. A square root times a square root cancel to leave you x. So you get 4 minus 4 square roots of x plus x. Now, can you isolate the radical?
Yes.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is subtract 4, subtract x. What's really nice about subtracting x in this case? Yeah. Negative 12 and negative 4 is
Negative 16.
equals negative 4 square roots of x. So how do we isolate the radical?
Divide by 4.
Negative 4. And a negative divided by a negative is a, so you get 4 equals the square root of x. How do you get rid of a square root?
Square root.
So x equals,
16.
fantastic.
Wow, that's the last few steps we went through really quick.
Yeah, you like to act.
And it's still there.
Wow, that was fast.
I'm sorry.
4 equals.
Is everybody over here okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We don't need to confirm graphically strictly because
Did
we're
we get
like
8 equals x?
in the last one or in this one?
16.
Oh, shoot. I did 4.
4 times 4.
I did 4 times
I mean 4 plus 4. Yeah.
equals 8.
All right. This is a
Cubic.
cubic. Thank you. So how do you get rid of a cube root?
You got a cubic.
Cube.
Cube both sides. Good. Is my cubic isolated?
No, it sure is not.
So what do I have to do to start?
Divide by 2. Get 6x.
So 6x minus 3 equals 8. Because 2 cubed is 8. Cubing a cube root cancels it away. Add 3. Yep. 11, 6.
6 times 11, 6 equals.
11.
I was going to say that. Minus
Oh.
3.
8. Cube root of 8 is 2. 2 times 2 is?
4, which equals 4.
So how do you think we get rid of a fourth root?
You got to just times it to the 4th power.
Yes. So what do we do to start?
You got
Yeah. So you get 3x plus 6 equals 3. That's to the 1/4. So to get rid of the 1/4, we take it to the 4th. 3 to the 4th is?
81.
So you get 3x plus 6 equals 81. 3x equals 81 minus 6. Divide by 3.
Now this is. I did that right.
Woo!
X equals 47.
So you get x equals 25. The only time you have to watch out for an extraneous solution is if you get an even root equal to a negative. If you have an even root equal to a negative, that will give you an extraneous solution. So if you go back and check and you have like negative 12 equals 12, that's extraneous. So it's like when you're going to have a negative on one side and a positive on the other.
They get such nice process to go everywhere. They are going to South Point and look at the bus they're riding.
Let me see.
Is that Mr. T's though?
No,
Mr. T is off like late and him, they're taking the bank.
That's my first.
Wait, how did you finish this one?